I told someone that I would go over the parts list for this wood gas stove that I made, and I'm going to take it apart and show you what all I got into it. But that's not what this video is really about. I wanted to tell you about some tins that I got, that like cookies come in, and you know, around Christmas there's, you know, gift tins and stuff like that. I'll show them to you in just a minute. But I went yard sailing and I bought about a half a dozen tins that you can make stoves out of. Okay, here's the parts list. First of all, let me show you the box. What I made these out of was this. Bought it at Walmart, 18 bucks for 4 of them. So you can make 2 stoves out of this. And it's metal. I don't see a part number. I don't know if that information would be of any help. Anyway, that's what I made them out of. So what I got is 2 handles, but since then I've realized in the box, the lids that come with these things have the handles on them. So just unscrew the handles off the lids and you can use them for handles on the side of your stove. So that's what I've got. The inner one with this is a carriage bolt. It's a 3-inch carriage bolt, and nothing, just no washer or anything on the inside. A washer and a 1/4 inch nut. This is a 3-inch by 1/4 inch carriage bolt. The legs are 1-inch by 1/4 inch carriage bolts with a 1 washer and 1 nut for each one. These holes are 5/8 wide and 1 inch apart all the way around. This here is just a piece of tin. Most hardware stores have tin you can buy. They usually come in a 12 by 16 or something that size. You could get at least 2 of these rims here, and you got to have that to bridge the gap between the outer and the inner chamber. Okay, so that's what that looks like. Oh, and these are number 8 by 1 inch threaded screws with a nut above the rim and a nut below it. These are 1/4 inch holes spaced a 1/2 inch apart all the way around the bottom of the inside chamber. These are 5/16 holes spaced 1 inch apart, and I've got them 1 inch down from the rim. From the top of the rim to the center of the hole is 1 inch. Okay, that's the parts list. If I left anything out, let me know. Here is the tins that I bought. You know, cookies come in them. Around Christmas, everybody can't figure out what to get Aunt Jane, so they get her some cookies or something, you know. Let me show you what I'm going to do with 2 of them. I got these 2 that are just the perfect size to make that stove out of. And that's what I'm going to do. The lid off of this one is going to be the rim that this fits down inside. So let me mark a few marks, and I'll show you how easy it is. And let me see, I'm going to check my clock. It's 2:40. Let's see how long it takes to make a full wood gas stove. And I may cook some bacon and eggs on this tomorrow. So I'm going to shut this off, get some tools out, get some marks down here, and I'll bring you right back. Okay, I've got the inner can marked where I'm gonna cut a whole bunch of slots around here. I'm gonna try to not use any screws. And the lid, actually, this ring right here is just the perfect size for that to fit through. So I'm going to take my Dremel and real carefully cut that out of the center. And I'm going to cut these down to that line about 1/2 inch apart all the way around. And I'll get that done and be right back. Okay, I've got them cut. And what I'm going to do is bend every other one down to this line here. And the reason I came down this far is because I want the bottom of this to be up off the bottom of the outer can, because the outer can is going to have holes down here, and I don't want the holes here and the holes here to be across from each other. I want the air to come in and then rise up, and that's what lifts the gas up between the inner and the outer chamber to come back into the holes that you have closer to the top here. So I'm going to bend these, every other one, down. I'm going to slip the top over and mash them up against the ones that are bent down. Then the ones that weren't bent down before, I'm going to bend down over the top of this. You'll see. Be right back. Okay, 1/4 inch holes about 1/2 inch apart all the way to the bottom. Same thing, 1/4 inch holes all the way around, about 1/2 inch apart, and about an inch from the top. I also cut these. I left about 1/2 inch on the ones that I bent down, every other one, and about 1/2 inch on the ones that are going to stand up. Here we go. And what you want to do is hold them down tight, bend these tabs over. Go up underneath here and bend these up underneath there really tight. Just here? No? Alright, there you have it. We have a wood gas stove. I gotta figure out something to make a little standoff to hold the pot up off of this. Maybe a coat hanger. Maybe I'll drive a couple of screws around the edge here. But there you have it. Let me check the clock. It's 3 o'clock. Took 20 minutes to make a wood gas stove out of a cookie tin. Oh, the cookie tins were made in London, so I'm using only the finest cookie tins, flown in from London. Thanks for watching. I'm just going to show you what I used to make this. A pair of tin snips, a Dremel. Now, the Dremel was not completely necessary. I could have done this with just the tin snips. It would have taken me a little longer, and it wouldn't have been as neat a cut. The Dremel just gives you a nice, neat cut. A drill with a step bit, a 1/4 inch bit. I have 4 screws that I'm fixing to use as pot standoffs, and I have a punch. I'm going to get these screws started using this punch. It's not really a punch so much as it is a awl. Okay, straight blade screwdriver. I want to drive them in about 5/8 of an inch from the top. All right. Add about another 5 minutes to that. Tomorrow morning, we cooking some eggs. See you in the morning.